Okay, we are going to look at writing, at solving an application problem. All right, now the thing about these application problems is if you've been with me in the last couple of videos when we were writing these from the verbal expressions and then when we were writing them from the graphs, if you can do those, you can do these because you're taking all those same skills. All right, and so the big thing to remember is you're always going to have, you're going to have your x. You're going to be subtracting whatever, and we called it midpoint on the last things, but another way of thinking of it is kind of like your benchmark or the number you're aiming for, right? So it's going to be x minus whatever that goal number is, and then the absolute value of that is going to be, generally speaking, with a lot of these problems, is going to be, less than or equal to, and the key word is within. Right, within, right? So it's going to be less than that, and then it's going to give you another number, and that number is going to be the difference that they tell you that's acceptable, and we can call that a tolerance, right? That means it's an acceptable difference, right? So if we look at this particular problem, Abe has $4,500. He wants to buy a boat within $1,300 of this amount. All right, so the thing is, most of you could figure this out without all the inequality bother, right? You could just say, well, duh, he's going to spend anywhere from, well, I would subtract 1,300 from 4,500 and get 3,200. So 3,200 would be his low number, right? So $3,200 would be, his low range, right? And then his upper range, right, would be $1,300 more than 4,500, which is $5,800. But if you, I want you to think about what you just did. You subtracted, you subtracted $1,300 from the amount of money, from that to get to these, right? So you're adding or subtracting, and obviously we can't write two different sentences for this, because it's absolute value, and that's what's nice about it, is it's kind of like the same as adding or subtracting it. So when we write these now, so we know our benchmark, right? Our benchmark number is $4,500. We want to spend within $4,500, right? Within a certain amount, within 1,300, and 1,300 is our tolerance. So, and we don't want to go over that, so it has to be less than or equal to that. You can spend within, right? And then put your brackets around it, and you're done, right? And if you're not sure about it, solve and find your answers, right? Because I know that my answers should be between 3,200 and 5,800, right? 3,200 is your low end, 5,800 is your upper end, and anything that falls in between these two is in the okay range, right? So let's just solve this really quick. All right, let's do case one. All right, is going to be your positive case, and I love the glitch. It's so fun. All right, so if I add 4,500 to this, right, that's where I'm going to get my, I apologize, guys. This is almost unreadable. That's where I'm going to get my 5,800. And I'm doing this bigger and really slowly. So x is going to be less than or equal to 5,800 in this case. Now for your negative case, all right, that is going to give me the converse, or negative. And then it's the same. I'm writing out the exact same thing I just did. The only difference is I have that negative in front of this whole difference here that I put in parentheses to show that the negative applies to the answer of that, the result, which is why we called it the difference. So apply that negative across the parentheses, and then you're going to subtract 4,500. All right. Again, I apologize about the quality of how this looks. And that's going to give you negative 3,200, which is going to freak some of you out because you're like, you can't have negative numbers when you're dealing with this, right? But remember, we have negative x is less than or equal to negative 3200. So when you multiply across this whole thing, you should see that you'll get x is greater than, when you multiply across the whole thing by negative 1, sorry I didn't finish that, you'll get x is greater than or equal to positive 3200. So now we have our endpoints, right, that we figured out on our own. And yeah, that looks really good, right? So that's kind of how you do these. Reasoning them out is far easier than writing them. But if you can reason it out, use that to help you write it. Okay, that's, I guess, my advice to anybody with these. Other than that, and then just do a few of them till they make sense to you. All right, good luck.